name is Crystal Chibu. I work with the Radio Foundation. Actually, I founded the Radio Foundation, and the Radio Foundation works with children with limb deformities and amputees as a result of trauma. Majorly what we do is to ensure that we set up a support system for amputees and their parents and their caregivers, as it may be, could be teachers. And in addition to that, we know there are a lot of people that do not know about amputation in Nigeria, so we focus on educating the society, ensuring that they know what to do when they see amputees, and also how to make the society a better place for all amputees and even the people that don't know about amputation. And should, in case you have a child that falls down, you know what to do. And finally, we do a work of empowerment with these amputees, ensuring that for those that do not have prostheses or cannot afford it, we provide them with prostheses from the age of 0 to 18 years. And for those that can afford it, then we now do a mentoring session for them with other amputees that have succeeded in life to ensure that they take them through the process of how to live life to the fullest. In a nutshell, you can say what we do is work with amputees to help them have hope or joy for tomorrow. The Radio Foundation started like a joke. So really, the first thing that happened was I gave birth to a child that did not have a bone in her leg, and her right leg, there was no bone. She also did not have a kneecap, and this happened 5 years ago. And we were told that we had to amputate. But initially, it was kind of tough for us to think that we would amputate our child. And really, that was the first child we were going to have by ourselves. So it was very, very tough. And 2 years after we had, we decided to go for amputation. We did the amputation. One of the reasons why it was most difficult for us to make the decision was because we did not know anybody that had done such a thing before. We read about it in books, we saw videos, but like in Nigeria, we really didn't know anybody that had done it. So it was very, very tough. We wanted to talk to people, but the only set of people we had to talk to were family members and some friends, and sometimes doctors. So for you, when you talk to doctors, you really think, they remove their emotions from whatever they're doing, and because of that, you really don't want to take seriously what they were saying. So when we did the amputation, we're just living by ourselves, and we didn't really think we're going to start a foundation out of that. But we started meeting people with same issues or similar issues, and people that really needed to talk to somebody. Then we started a support group by the side, and finally we decided to make it even more public, so not just our friends, and do something for someone else and then another person. And that was how the Radio Foundation started 3 years ago. So really, for me, I would say the Radio Foundation started because we gave birth to a child that had a missing bone in her right leg. When we started up the foundation, it was a bit tough initially, especially because for us, we wanted to provide prostheses for every child that needed help. And the uniqueness about providing prostheses for children is the fact that they have to change it as they grow. So for an adult, for instance, you have a prosthesis and you can take it for the next 5 to 6 years or even 10 years of your life, depending on the wear and tear that the prosthesis has. But for children, you have to change like every 6 months. And some children even change every 3 months as they grow either fatter or taller. And some children change like every 9 months. So really the difficulty we had was, raising money for every child per time to do that. The second thing that we faced really was having people come out to tell their story. A lot of people have children that have some form of deformity or the other, but they don't want to talk to anybody about it. Not necessarily because they don't want to get help, but because of the stigma that might be attached to it. So that was another thing that we faced. We faced a lot of people saying, why would you do this to your child? You shouldn't have amputated. Maybe you should have waited a little bit while. Some people would say, I don't want anybody to know about my story. I want to get help from you, but I don't want to tell anybody about it. But if you have to raise money for someone, then somebody has to hear the story. So those were some of the challenges, trying to raise money and also trying to fight the stigma and ensuring that the stigmatization, especially in Africa, is being battled. And really that's why for us education is huge and a big part of what we do as the Radio Foundation, to ensure that we are able to reduce to the barest minimum the stigmatization that may be attached to disability. The beauty of what we do at the Radio Foundation is the fact that it has all to do with children. We don't focus on adults. There are a lot of other foundations that do things with deformed people, but they do it with adults. We work with children. We literally help shape the foundation of the child, because what that does to the mindset of the child is really change the thinking of the child and makes the child want to live life to the fullest. I've met a lot of children, and even with my own child, I've seen amputees that use prostheses. They got amputated while they were adults, and then they try to use prostheses to walk, and it's a bit difficult. It's very, very glaring, and you can see that they're using a particular aid. But with children, they learn how to use this aid from when they are children. You shape their thinking. They're able to tell themselves that I can do everything. They don't think of themselves as deformed or disabled. They just want to do everything every other child does. The children we work with, some of them swim, some of them do taekwondo, some of them even dance. So I think that sets us apart. It makes us really different, and it's unique. It makes us wake up in the morning and want to go out and do what we do. I think the best advice I've received in starting up a foundation is from my husband, that told me it was worth doing it. And also, when you think about the best, you sometimes have the worst advice coming in. Some people told me, the only people that do foundations are rich people. So I think you're wasting your time. I think you shouldn't do it. But I think it was too late to take that advice, because my husband said it was possible.
And now, guys, it's time for us to take another quick break. We have to pay our bills, but we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.